Hey guys, it's Love My Anime here, and in a previous video I posted on me drawing Chrono and Ragnarok, I was asked, how am I so good at drawing? Well, there's simple answers to that. One is that I've been drawing since I was 3 years old, and two is a lot of practice and time. So I have a blank piece of paper here, and I'm just going to try and draw Merlin. So I have a picture of Merlin from the Seven Deadly Sins right next to me, and I've been watching the Seven Deadly Sins. I loved it. Actually finished the entire season in one day. It was really great. But anyways, I'm gonna try and draw her. Now when I try and draw a character, usually it takes me like 1 hour to 2 hours to draw a character, because I take my time to make sure that I have all the measurements correct. So I first start off by deciding what part of her body I want to start with. So I mainly start like around the face area. So I kind of determined that, okay, I'm gonna start with the, where her bangs are, right here. And I make, I look at the curve, how it goes. It's like slightly slanted, so, I don't come straight down like this or like curved like this. Just a tiny curve. Okay, and then I can see that her eye is about right here, and then next to it she has a little strand right there, and then this part of her face is actually dark, but it also shows me that it curves a little bit, and you kind of see how I'm doing small strokes. Doing small strokes can really help you bring out the correct shape of your character. So that's like all I have right now. Okay, so we are about right here. So this goes down here, this goes down there. And now I can see that this hair strand is about, about this length, and it kind of connects with this one here. So I would slowly connect the same way. And sometimes I have to erase and redraw many times, trust me. Alright, so let's see here. This goes up here. Looks like there's a bit of, see that white, there's a white part right there. So this is kind of like what I mentioned before about taking your time, because if you want to like actually draw really good detailed characters that looks exactly like the character that you are drawing, it's gonna take time, guys. Like maybe some like really good professional artists might not take as much time, but and maybe the creator that who drew her might not take as much time, but usually it takes more than like 10 minutes to actually draw a good detailed character that is also like, and also in the right proportions, where her eyes aren't too big or too spread out, or her head's not too big or too small, stuff like that. Okay, so right now I basically finished drawing like this corner half right here. And now, I kind of see that where this white spot is, it's actually a lot taller. So this is like very short right here. Like if I made the curve right here, you kind of see this is really small and this is really wide. So that won't work. So I have to keep going and extend a bit. And you see this is where like I would erase up here to kind of match, what's going on up there. But first, I'm just going to make this top right here. And then, let's see. Now also the using kind of guidelines help, because I can see the end of her hair bangs or whatever they are here kind of come across her eyes a bit, and they go a little bit lower than this white part here. So it would sort of be like kind of like a diagonal line like that. So that lets me know that this curve extends to about this point right here. Okay, and then I can see that this hair piece down here, it goes to about right here, because it's like higher than this lower point. Using these point guidelines also helps a lot. So let's see here, I'm gonna do a little curve, and once again I'm doing small quick strokes. Alright, and then so I'm up here. Now I'm looking at this line right here. This line comes about downish, that much for now, and it goes up all the way to the tip of where this triangle is. And we can just erase this part here. And now I can see that the width between this hair and this part is actually wider. So I would, let's see, put this here and actually move this a bit closer. So right there. So now, I can see that it has about the same, not exactly the same as what's in my phone, but close to it. And I can go in and draw the face whenever I want, but I'm gonna work on her chin right now. And I actually, I'm actually going to bring this up here because I can see that this chin side face part is actually a bit too low than the top face, and that's also another thing that you guys have to pay attention to and focus when you're drawing. If something seems off balanced, then you gotta erase it. Like if you look at your character's face and it seems like their cheek is like, I don't know, broken or falling off, or their nose is too big, or stuff like that, then you just gotta erase it and try again. Okay, there's that and that. And then let's see, the hair up here goes slightly there. There's not too much space between this part and this part here, so right there should be good. And then this keeps going, but for now I'm going to stop right there and continue on to this part of the hair. So it's a bit whitish, starts at the same length, and it looks like it curves inward and becomes a lot thinner towards the bottom. And then her ear is just below this strand, so her ear starts right there, and it looks like it ends just above the end of that strand. So, I'm looking at the details, what they look like, stuff like that. Okay. Now this might be a little too wide, so I'm going to make it a bit smaller. Okay, I think that's good for now. There's a triangle point right here, that's same length as this part here. And let's see, there's a point right here. Then going across, this line right here is close to the ear part. So I'm going to move it a bit closer to right there. And it looks like it is just a bit diagonaled with this part right here. Okay? So right there, so that's this part here. Okay, so far, I kind of have her like this, and honestly, in my opinion, her head is still too wide, and I would just erase and fix it up, because this is what happens. Like, her head to me looks a bit too wide and not slim enough. So this is all trial and error. It takes a good while to do an exact drawing, and I'm actually going to use her face to help me out a bit with that. So I'm not going to worry about this part for now. I'm just going to draw her eyes. Let's see, it goes downward there. Okay. And then her nose is right here. There's a dot right there. Actually going to move the dot up and make it a little bit smaller. There's an eye right there. And then her second eyebrow looks like kind of merges with this hairline. Goes to about right there and then continues on to right here. And see, that kind of shows me I actually drew this line a bit too far from her actual eyebrow. So that's probably why her head was so wide. Let's see here. So, like if you start drawing with the head and then you kind of realize that, oh, her eyes, don't fit, then all you gotta do is just erase it and start over, honestly. Like, that's the only thing you can do. Okay? And right there. And this eye curves in a bit. a black part here, a black part here. It's kind of hard to see like what her eye is like on the inside because it's a bit blurry. Now I can kind of tell that this part curves right here. We have her triangle part right there. So that looks about the right length. I'm actually going to erase her eye. Okay, so that's a bit better. And then this part here is very close to the edge of her eye, so this would actually be more closer to right over here. Alright, just like that. And this eye right here, I'm actually going to make it a bit like that. Alright. Just like that. And now her lips are just tiny bit below her nose. If I'm gonna zoom in a bit, it looks like this as far as I can zoom in. I'm taking my time to really get the exact curve that is in the picture. Slight opening, slight curve, and a slight curve down here too. Now I gotta fix her chin so that it matches. Let's see here, this is going to be extended out a bit. I'm going to actually shade in her lips to help me out a bit. Okay. And then her chin stops, looks like it stops right at the edge of right here. And it goes up right there. And it curves towards the nose part. And as you can see, you know, I kind of went through a lot of changes with her. Even to like her hair has to be changed as well. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna make this eye a bit lower. Make this go here. There's a line right there. Then I'm going to bring her chin, no, her neck down to help me out a bit, like that. And then same thing as we did before, just follow the lines of her hair. And I'm even going to actually draw the feathers. So, you know, I'm kind of looking at this part right here. Curves in a bit. Curves down. And curves in. Goes down a bit. And curves up. Okay, and then we can continue on with its hair going upwards. I'm not going to make it too wide. And it finishes off right there. And the ear goes to right over here. So not too big of an ear. Alright, so that's a bit better. And now looking at here, you can see there's a tiny piece that goes up there, which is this piece right here. And then there's the bigger piece, which extends back here, curves up, and touches this hair piece here, and then comes back down in a curve like that. And in the middle of that is where this hair strand meets. And you know, I know some of you guys are gonna be like, oh, ain't nobody got time for that. but honestly, yes guys, this is how long it actually takes me when I don't, you know, speed everything up, you know. All the drawing videos I have, those speed arts, if I took my time, they would be like 2-hour videos to watch. And I'm pretty sure this is a very long video as well. So, you know, don't be surprised. This is actually how long it takes. I know that's a bit of a better size head. And it looks like, so right here, there's another piece, and that piece touches this hair piece, and it crosses over with this. So I'm gonna erase this part, and this piece is a bit thinner. It goes out like that. Okay, and this piece, the end of her hair, connects to right there, just like that. And it curves up. And over. And right there. Now that's a way better head than before. And you guys can see how much I had to erase to size down her head in the right proportion. Let's see here. I'm gonna continue on with her feathers back here. So it looks like where this curve is here is where. So moving up the white part, curve. It's a bit too far, so it's not too far from the shadow part. Just about right there actually. And then from here, looks like there's a little, very thin part, which is this part right here. It goes up, curves down, and this part here is connected to this part. This makes me know to extend it out a bit. It's just like that. Now from the shadow part to right here, there's a line. And then the white line continues off right here, curves down. Now I'm somewhere in the middle area here. I would actually want to draw more of these here, so I kind of know like the spacing. When I have like a big area, I jump around a bit. Let's see, I'm gonna draw this part right here. And goes to right about there. Extends to right here. This goes to here. This goes right here, and see, there's a line right here, and it goes upwards. So I'm drawing this part right here, and then this small piece connects, guides with this line here. And then there's a piece right here, and this piece here connects with this piece right here, and this extends right there and connects with this piece right here. And then there's a line right about here. Looks like that's where her shoulder is. Gonna curve it down. You can see there's a shadow right here. Extends upwards. There's a line right there, a small line. So now so this part here is supposed to be this here. So it looks like there is a shadow here. Colors in like that. And this moves out to this little tiny piece right here. And it curves out to this piece, which is slightly farther than here. So I wouldn't draw it like all the way over here or like all the way over here, just slightly. And these are the kind of observations I always take in. Even like, I can see the curve right here matches up with this line that I made before, so I know that, okay, that's the right width that this piece should be. And then from here, I can draw this piece here, and that piece comes from right there, curves down a bit here, and goes up from here. So right there, just like that. And then this piece here starts from here, curves downwards, and that piece starts from right here, curves upwards. So the lines here, this curves down, connects with this piece here. And then this piece here looks like comes out from here. It's the same size as these two. And now here's the shoulder part, so which means I need to draw this part here as well. Straight, curves down, slightly close to this piece here. And now I can continue on with drawing this piece right here. So there we go. So those are her feathers. And now I'm going to draw the other part of her feathers. So let's see here. So her neckline is about right here, and this part extends down below to this part. She has a bit of hair showing that swirls downwards. It's right here, not too thick, very thin. Same. This part comes right there. Alright, just like that. Now I'm going to focus on these lines here and seeing the shadows as well a bit. Kind of helps. So these lines aren't very close to her hairpiece right here. They have a bit of space between them. And I'm actually going to curve this line up a bit so that it's right there. And this would be right there, just like that. Then this goes, the shadow goes up. That makes another line, just like that. And that makes another curve, which is this curve right here now. And this comes down. So that piece is that piece right there. So I'm gonna look at this part right here now. So let's slight curve downward, matching this and this. It would be about right there. And then it curves up a little bit, curves down a little bit, and up a little bit. Now from here, I'm gonna draw this line right here. And then see, this right here showed me that this actually was not a correct proportion. I drew it too big, so I have to erase it. I'm gonna start from here actually. Curve inward. And that looks about the good size from there. From here, curve up slightly here. I'm gonna erase her hair strand from here just for a little bit and draw this line right here. And now, see, her strand actually would come right there a bit, and I'm gonna make it a bit thinner. Okay, just like that. This would come here, and yeah, just a bunch of erasing, honestly, guys, because like I said before, it takes a lot of trials and errors, and can't always get it perfectly the first time. Let me see, here's this line's here. This line is a bit closer to right over there. Okay, so just like that. I'm gonna fix. I'm just gonna color this in to help out a bit. Shade in her hair. For now. And I use my finger to help shade in a bit. Oh, it goes an alarm. Okay, so I think I have these down at the right length and size, so I can move up a bit and curve this part downwards. This part is a bit too long, so I'm gonna make it shorter, and this part extends out past this strand, and it curves down. Let's see, where does it curve down? So yeah, you see this part is actually not matching up. So I'm gonna have to erase this. When some things kind of don't work out for me, I usually like to step away from that part of the picture and just move on to a different part, like continuing on down here. See the parts right here. That part looks a bit too close actually. So I'm gonna move this curve right here a bit over. And this extends out here. This curve goes down here, and then looks like this connects with this hairline here. Curves down and up. It curves upwards. So I'm drawing this part here now. So I still made it too big because it doesn't fit. So I'm gonna have to erase and redraw so that it does fit. I moved this hair strand a bit closer to here. Now I'm gonna try and draw these pieces here so that they all fit correctly. So I'm gonna draw curve down here like that. A little more erasing. Goes out here. Connects down, and there's a smaller piece right there. And there we go. Now we fit all the pieces. So all these pieces fit correctly. Now we can draw these inside lines. A line right here, and that line looks like connects with this line here, and this line, and her hair strand would come down to right there. Actually, starts from here and curves down to right there. I'm gonna make this thinner. Alright, there. Now this part touches this hair strand here, and this line curves right there. It's just like that. Okay, so we drew both of the feather parts, her hair strands right here, and then her clothes extend out, touches this part, so this part has to be a bit longer, comes down to here, curves a bit, and goes straight down. And then this part starts right here and curves out a bit, and then comes in. I'm actually gonna fix this part. That part's right there. There's a line right here, just between these two. And then the shadows right here. Alarm. Let's continue. We're drawing this curve here. And then her close part looks like starts right at this part. So there's a slight space between them, and it comes down. Let's see here. Comes down and curves. Right there, just like that. Her breast actually would be right here. And curve a bit down more. Her shadows also line up as well. Uh-oh. Oh, looks like I dropped an eraser, but it's okay. I can get another one. Okay, I'm gonna make this line a bit longer, and this one actually shorter to start off with. Okay, let's erase this part here. And I'm not gonna draw her whole entire body. Just the top of her. Shadow extends up. It looks like the shadow also connects with this guideline here, which is right over here. And then this stops to about, where am I pointing? Right there. Let's see here. So this comes down here, stops to right here. So that's where her arm would be. And the shadow curves upwards like that. This curves down. To right there. So that's where her shadow would be. There's a heart in here. There, just like that. I'm gonna shade in the shadow. There's a heart right about here. And then there's a heart right about here. Okay, now I can continue on with her arm piece. There's a bit of a wide gap from here, so I wouldn't start close to here or too far here, just slightly bit towards the middle, and that tells me to shorten this part. To about right there. And this curve. Okay, I'm sorry, my camera has a tendency to stop on its own sometimes, but anyways, right now I was focusing on drawing her arm. So I'm looking at this part, and I'm gonna draw the shadow curve here. Just moves downwards. In this part here, it's actually at a good line because there's a distance between here and the shadows line. The shadows line. This line here curves slightly downwards, not too far. Looks like it kind of matches up with this top piece right here. So that is about the right length. And then her shirt. Her sleeve comes down from this part here, and it curves out to right about, that's a bit too far, I'll make it curve to right about there. Okay, and then her lower part, looks like the shadow comes here, and that helps me connect the lower part of her arm, which extends to this point here, and then makes a straight curve, as it does right here. And there's a line right here that also curves inwards, just like that. It looks like her elbow comes out, and then there's a point to her elbow right here. So that's about a good gap space. It also shows me her elbow is about the same distance, and it guides with this point right here. So if my line is here, that means the elbow would actually be right over here. Okay, so let's try that again. Elbow would be right there. Yep, that's where the elbow would be. Then I can draw this part here, this line right here, curve the arm down like that. And then her body, or her waist, comes down to right here. It looks like her sleeve is very close to her waist. So I'm actually going to draw that part, and that will help me connect everything together. Erase these lines. Okay, and then I'm looking at this part here. This part starts just about here, comes out, shadow part right here, so it comes out to just about here. So I was looking at this part right there. Oh, honestly, that alarm is getting annoying. Alright, and there we go. So there's that shadow part, and this part can connect to right there. And I know I have to erase this part to draw, you know, her hands. I'm not going to worry too much about them. Okay, there. And now, on her other part, let's see here, I'm going to see where her hip lines up. So I made the curve right here, which means this hip would go down towards this part right here. It's about this much far down and curves down. Alright, and now her hand, this fingertip actually is close to right here. So I'm actually going to start by drawing from the fingertip. And that's gonna curve. Let's see, it looks like it curves down past right here. And I'm drawing this curve right here. Just there's a little bit of shadowing right here. There's another small curve right here. And then this arm part here, the shadow we have here, comes out to right there, close to the body, not too close, so a bit of a distance that I can see, same right here, and it ends slightly bit above here, so just about there. And that lets me know that this part connects with this part. So just like that. And then this part down here will curve up. I'm gonna stop here and draw a bit more of these shadows here, so I can know where to place the other part. And there's a space right here. and there's a little point here, so that lets me know that this connects to right there, and there's a shadow right here as well. This moves up, and that's as far as this goes, because this curved line here would connect up and connect to this part here. So see, it's not very wide, it's not very small. It's just about the right size. And then her hand on the top of her fingertip looks like goes to right here. So I'm gonna, she has very long fingertips like me, honestly. So I'm gonna draw her thin fingertips in this part here. Meets with this part here. And this part is a bit lower than this part. This finger is what I mean. Curves down. And just like that. Alright. And then for like the diamonds, you know, not much detail has to go in them. Just a bit of diamonds here and there. Draw the square, you know, taking my time, doing very light sketches. Okay, so there we go. So there's that. And then I'm just gonna draw her belly button down here. So this is what she looks like for now. You know, a good tip is to have like a paper underneath so you don't smudge when you're drawing with pencil, but oh well. I'm gonna try my best to erase as much as I can a bit. Okay, it's right there. Her belly button was right there. And I mean, like I could keep on going now if I wanted to. Let's see, I'm gonna move this a bit. But yeah, you know what? Let's just keep going, cause why not? So her thumb piece here. Let's see here. Looking at this part, this curves down and goes all the way straight to where her thumb is, right here. Her thumb would stop right there. And this part is a bit close, not too wide, to right there. Curves downwards a bit, and there's a bit of a shadow here, and with her thumb there's a little bit distance towards where the ending of her panties are, and they curve in, and that helps me connect this part and the shadow part down here. So when this curves in, these fingers go past it, just this. And then this part here looks like it's close to here. It has just a little space, and that helps me draw the second thigh. And let's can't forget this piece here. Second eye comes down to right there. And her cape piece comes down, curves down here. There's a thin line. It looks like it curves outwards right there. And from here, this piece looks like comes down here. There's a space here, a shadow right here, and it starts right where the shadow is. So right there. It's just like that. And now I kind of, take a look a bit, see if it looks good, see if anything needs work or not. Gonna lighten this ear up a bit. Okay, and I think that is about it for now. I mean, I'm happy with her shadow she got. Actually going to erase these a bit. And then with the shading, it's just nothing but using very light strokes like that. And then using my finger to just blend it all in. Very light. Blend it in. Right here too. Light, blend it in. Make these shadow parts darker. And make the skin a bit lighter. Alright, and we also need to draw the hearts on. Heart on her panties. There's a dot right there, and a dot right there. A dot right here, and a dot right there. Okay, very lightly shade that in, just like that. I'm gonna erase a bit more to lighten up her skin. Okay. And then I'm actually going to go a bit harder on her hairline so you can see the individual, not too hard, individual strands a bit. And I'm also going to erase here to do her highlights that she has. See, she has a bit of highlight right there, and right there, and right there. Let's curve this down. Erase these parts for the highlights. Looks like there's almost like a W highlight. So I'm etching out a W. making this strand a bit darker so we can see it. This part is darker as well. The highlight continues on. I'm paying attention, I know it doesn't have to be crazy exact, but I'm trying to fit everything so it's about correct sizing and things like that. Let's do some little bit of shadings down here as well on these feathers. Wherever I see they do have shading spots for going a bit darker. Focus on her eyes as well. Gonna fix her eyebrow a bit. There. There we go. Just like that. Make these a bit darker lines. That will help with definition a bit. And the ones that are shadows do not have to be as defined. Try not to press too hard. So I'm just making the outside part of her arm more defined, thicker lines. Right here and here. Can't forget about this part here as well. And as you can see, we are finished. Alright, so I'm gonna take the camera down. And right here, I am finished with her. So this is what she looks like. I'm not going to speed this up so you'll actually know how long it actually took me to draw her. And honestly, even for me, sometimes I would still fix up her head a bit. It might actually look good, maybe to me it's still a little too wide or whatever, or she might actually be the right size. Yeah, right there. So this is her, and I'm gonna quickly open my phone. And here is the picture that I used. So looking at her, I can already tell that her eyes is actually a bit more slanted upwards than mine is. So that's like the kind of thing that I would try and fix. It's about, you know, like that. And so here's her whole body, here's mine. There's still some small details that do not match, but for the most, let's look at the top. Yeah, this is kind of where I kind of look at her, see what parts fit, what parts don't fit. I still feel like the space right here might be a bit too wide still. So I'm going to, let's see here, I'm going to do a little observation and see if I can fix this a bit. Alright. I guess the other thing we need to do is actually shadowing here. Shadowing. Okay, so my camera kind of ran out of batteries and I did a bit more drawing on my own, and I'm actually going to stop right here. So here it is. You know, we're not copy machines, so the pictures can't always be exact from what we see, but we can take our time to get it just close enough. And that is my drawing of Merlin. Well, that is it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you have any requests on a future video you would like me to do. Also, this is your first time watching one of my videos, please do me a favor and click that subscribe button down below and the little notification bell as well, so that you can know the next time I upload a video, because the anime community is awesome. And remember, I'm making these videos just for you.